treba da se čaša prelije, koliko treba da se ljubav razlije, koliko treba da se plati, da se bar trenutak vrati, da me makar tvoja senka dodirne, da se bar trenutak vrati, srce ne može da shvati, da više nisi deo moje sudbine. Dovoljna je reč ili dve, da bi duša rekla sve, da si ceo svet moj, samo ti. Napred nema, nazad ne može, nek mi srce pokaže kako da te noćas zadrži. Dovoljna je reč ili dve, da bi duša rekla sve, da si ceo svet moj, samo ti. Napred nema, nazad ne može, a nek mi srce pokaže kako da te noćas zadrži. Koliko treba da se čaša prelije, koliko treba da se ljubav razlije, koliko treba da se plati, da se bar trenutak vrati, da me makar tvoja senka dodirne, da se bar trenutak vrati, srce ne može da shvati, da više nisi deo moje sudbine. Dovoljna je reč ili dve, da bi duša rekla sve, da si ceo svet moj, samo ti. Napred nema, nazad ne može, a nek mi srce pokaže kako da te noćas zadrži. Dovoljna je reč ili dve, da bi duša rekla sve, da si ceo svet moj, samo ti. Napred nema, nazad ne može, a nek mi srce pokaže kako da te noćas zadrži. Dovoljna je reč ili dve, da bi duša rekla sve, da si ceo svet moj, samo ti. Napred nema, nazad ne može, a nek mi srce pokaže kako da te noćas zadrži. Dovoljna je reč ili dve, da bi duša rekla sve, da si ceo svet moj, samo ti. Napred nema, nazad ne može, nek mi srce pokaže kako da te noćas zadrži.
Let's go. This is your radio. This is your station.
Primera producción. Oye, Timba Manía.
Timba, Cuban salsa it's like a fusion of many things.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Let's start the party.
Nossa, assim você me mata. Ai, se eu te pego, ai, se eu te pego, ai.
I dobro večer, dame i gospodo, dobro večer I dobrodošli u još jednu epizodu Live from Balkan. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to one more episode of our show Live from Balkan. Moje ime je Vladimir Šuković I kao svih prethodnih večeri do sada ja ću biti vaš domaćin. My name is Vladimir Šuković, and like previous nights, also tonight I will be your host. So tonight I have a great guest. They're with me. They're backstage and they are ready to join me. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give a big applause for my dear friend and colleague, Sara. She's with me right now. Hello, Sara. Good evening. Dobro večer. How are you? How are you? Okay, tonight, sorry, just 1 second. Tonight we need to speak a little bit on English because we have a international guest with us. So, how are you, Sara? Is everything okay?
Yeah, everything is fine. Everything is really good. I'm really happy the spring has finally come. Yeah, so I'm enjoying the great weather. Yes, everything is good. Thanks.
So, tell me, I need to ask you, how is Sandeep? Is everything all right with him?
Yeah, he's super busy. He's fine. Yeah, he's doing really well.
Oh, okay. It's nice to hear that.
He sends regards.
Okay. Big hug from us to him directly.
Yes, of course.
You're in Valjevo right now?
No, actually, I'm in Novi Sad.
In Novi Sad, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I need to send many regards to Tamara Nikolic. She asked us during the first song which we played before the intro. She asked for Ana, yes, the dancer who is in that video of our great friend and also singer Biljana Biksi Obradović. Dancer is Ana, and also she danced in that video with Veljko. So we have one more guest for this great night, and it is my pleasure to say welcome to our great friend, instructor, and also he's a DJ and producer, and he made some kind of collaboration with you, Sara. So ladies and gentlemen, tonight with us is DJ Nymf directly from Amsterdam. Hello and welcome, my friend.
Hey, nice to be here. Nice to see you. Nice to see you, Sarah.
Nice to see you too.
Yeah.
So, how's it in Amsterdam right now? You said us before we joined the live show. You said us that the weather is right now is cold or hot.
Yeah, it's cold. It's cold.
It's cold.
Degrees. Yeah, like 2 days ago it was 23, and today it's 7. So it feels really cold and also windy.
It's always windy there.
So before we continue with our talk, I want just to say to all people who want to write to us, they can do it on our Facebook page. In this video, you can leave your comment, or you can send us a message on SMS, Viber, or WhatsApp on next cell phone number. +381 60 60 66 996, ili po srpski ako želite da nam pišete, to možete uraditi na broj telefona +381 60 60 66 996. So Sara, first of all, I want how to say that, congrats on your project, and also I think you make a great thing with this project, and for people who maybe don't know so much about your project, first of all, I want to say that you're a great dancer, but except that, you're also a great singer, and actually it is my pleasure to have some person who is actually connected with dance and music, like our next guest, or DJ Nymf too. So I want to ask you first, okay, we know that you're a great dancer, but I want to ask you also how everything started with your musical career.
Do you want to go first, or should I?
You can start.
First of all, so many compliments, Vladimir. I'm really blushing, I have to say. Thank you.
I don't see that. I don't see that on my screen.
I'm pale by nature. It has been an interesting journey so far, on and off, more or less. But music has been always like a great part of my life. I can say it started really like from early age, because my dad was a huge music. I mean, he's still a huge music enthusiast and CD collector and like this vinyl collector as well. So we always listened to really good music when we were kids, like Bob Dylan, Sting, Duran Duran, all these kind of cool bands, and a lot of jazz. So I have to say that I'm blessed that I grew up listening to some high quality music. And then I started exploring, like when I have to say that it has been like, I really got into singing and writing my own like lyrics. When I started listening to U2, it was a really big inspiration. And started like with choirs in different small groups. So those were like, I never got like a formal music education in terms of music school, but when I was 15, I joined, it was like in my English music school, and English and music school, we had like a music club, which was led by a pianist and conductor and composer. And we had like, we were organizing for a couple of years in a row concerts, which were movie music. So, and we were collaborating with also musicians from Belgrade Music Academy. So it was quite exciting. And that was my first experience as a solo singer. And as a part of that journey, my friend Vladimir, who was a composer there, and me, we started making our own music. So that was like really great to express and explore that kind of a talent. I really said, like, I can't live without this. And that is, I think, the most important thing you feel. And it happened also with the dance. The moment you discover when you create something that it is just inseparable part of you, you just keep doing it. So we collaborated together. I started going to like professional singing classes with Madame Piano, who is our famous singer. And so we came up with a really cool project. We performed here in Serbia and in Norway, because that's where he lives. And then as plans changed in life, I left to Oman to work. And then there was like a little bit of a music pause, I have to say. I discovered the dance, but I continued just like working on my own and going to some choirs over there in Muscat. And so that's like when the dance kind of hit my life more than music. But I kept coming back to Serbia, and that's where we had like again gigs and concerts, performing our music and some other type of like Balkan and world music together.
I need to ask you one question. Sorry to interrupt you, but
I took too long.
No, not about it. But for me, when you sent me your biography, when I saw it, the first thing what was pretty much interesting to me is that you actually always combine different genres of different music. So tell me about it, because is that something that actually describe you as a person, or maybe you just love a different style of music and that was the reason why you always try to combine the different styles?
Actually, I like to experiment also vocally with different types of music, and I enjoy certain genres. I enjoy certain genres a little more than others, but I really like both like rock music and this kind of progressive zouk or pop, or if you want to, how you want to call it. I also have a little bit of my own side project that I'm working on, which it is kind of I start like with ambiental music. I start with like only like piano and voice, and then when I collaborate with different people, I think a producer also there influences the direction a lot. I think that feeling is very important. I feel that message and that feeling is always kind of the same, but that production can completely define the song in terms of like which music style it is, if you get what I want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also I need to ask you, our friend, because he's also a Zouk instructor, if I'm right, also DJ and producer. So I want to ask you, what was the moment when you, how to say that, do you start first with the dancing or with the music, or during the time you combine all those things together? Because I know there is a lot of dancers who are actually lots of good instructors who are actually DJs, but I really don't know so much of them who are also producers and combine all those things together. You were also salsa. You are salsa also dancer. You dance salsa before Zouk, but also I have one more question in this part, and it is. How you find yourself in Zouk actually? Okay, that is the first block for you.
So the first question is how I find myself in Zouk.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah, it's also been like quite a journey. But the first time I was dancing salsa before, and then I hear the Zouk music, and I was like directly like, hey, I like this music, you know. I asked one of my teachers, like, how do you dance like on this music? And they showed me some basic steps, but it was really in a weird way because they also didn't know. And I said to myself, no, I want to know more about it. So I start digging, like looking around here in Holland, like where do they teach Zouk? And then I saw like the guy that brought Zouk here, Claudio Gomez, he brought Zouk to Amsterdam, Holland. He was giving a teacher's course. And I said, yes, I'm going to follow this, you know, because I can go take classes, but it's not my thing to take classes or for workshops. So I went to this training, the teacher course, and it was like 6 weeks, like every Saturday from 12 till 6. Training and all the fundamentals of this Brazilian Zouk. So after the 6 weeks, he asked me like if I wanted to give classes for him, wanted to teach for him. I said, yeah, okay. So he saw something in me like, hey, this is a dancer. So he asked me. So I said, yeah. So I started in 2006, and I did for 2 years because I had to travel all the way from my city, Enschede, to Amsterdam. And Almere, so it was like 2 hours driving, like one way, and 2 hours back. So I did for 2 years, and then I stopped because it was not like traveling back and forth. It was not worth. So I stopped. But then in 2010, I moved to Amsterdam, and they asked me again in this dance school if I wanted to give classes. I said, let me check first what the level is, and I went there, and it was like kind of similar as the time that I left. And I said to him like, hey, I want to change something because this is like still the same thing, and I want to change. I want to put something from my own. And he was like, no, he want to keep this structure. You want to keep it. And I said, okay, I can give classes for you, but still, this is not my goal. My end goal is to develop more. So, and then I start digging around. And then I found Tanya Leticia from Spiral Dances in Zouk in Spain. I found them, and they had an intensive week training. So I went there like 1 week training.
They're crazy good.
Yeah, they're amazing. Yeah. So and they do a lot of stuff like from hip hop to ballet, modern dance, contact improvisation, capoeira, and other stuff. They fuse a lot of things in the dance. And from that moment, I started like, you know, Zouk, you can fuse with so many things. And still, nowadays, you can fuse Zouk with not even the music. You can fuse with different music. You can dance on different music. You can infuse with different style of dances. You can fuse into Zouk. And there's so much more expression that you can put in the dance. And that's what keep me always interesting in Zouk, and always it feels better. It feels. I know some people like salsa or sensual bachata or dance. You know, they are. But for Zouk, for me, it's my way of expressing it.
Cool. So actually, Sara, I want to ask you. So you when you travel to Oman, was that maybe the how to say that? Maybe the main point in your life when you maybe decide to go further with the dancing and in your musical career too, or actually during that time you from trying to continue to find yourself, or it was the moment when you decide, okay, I will be a dancer, I will be a musician too?
It didn't go that straightforward. I went to Oman. I was pretty much on my own. A few of my friends were going to these salsa classes. They were also dancing salsa in Belgrade, and Shita Sandra, friend, she told me like, you wanna check out this Oman salsa group. They have like classes, and that's where I started. Actually, I never danced before in my life. 2010 was when I interacted first time with Latin dance, and I really loved it because I like the expression. It is a combination of movement and music, so it's kind of a nice fusion. And then I discovered salsa. I fell in love with zouk, both in terms of music, rhythm, and also the movement, of course. And for a while, I didn't, in Oman, I wasn't that much involved in music apart from like just some casual singing. Actually, a couple of years, and as I said, like going to Serbia, we always did some concert or something like that. But then I have to say that I really connected back with music when Sandeep, he got me like a piano on my birthday, and I'm like, oh God, I started like playing more intensively and also creating some of my own stuff, and that's when I really reconnected back to it. And of course, dance, we already started teaching and everything, so you know that part pretty well, I think.
Yeah.
So
actually, I just need to say, because Nymf said before that who bring zouk to his country, I need to say that for Serbia, Sara brings zouk to Serbia. So for us, that's a big thing. Sorry, Sara.
But I have to no, it's okay. But I just have to say, like, my first zouk international festival was in Spain, in Mataro. And that's where I met Nymf. He was teaching some really cool M-zouk style over there. So yeah, that's where we met. I think it was, I don't know, 2000, maybe 14, 15. I can't remember exactly. And it's really interesting how the road further connects people together. And I remember when he was DJing in Berlin. That was Berlin, I think, Essential Weekend or something like that it was called. And I really loved the music that he was playing, because it was very different, and it was a combination of this kind of a little bit of psychedelic dubstep, but also very melodic. I was like, whoa, what is this? It sounds so different, because usually, like there are songs which are even pop, but you can put a beat on it and it is zoukable. But this was something very original, so I remember I spotted it.
So actually, from that point, that collaboration between you guys actually started in that moment?
No.
Okay.
No, actually, the cooperation in terms of music started when Sandeep connected us back together. It was like, last year or something?
Yeah, last year.
Yeah. And he was saying that I'm like singing and making my own music. And of course, Nymf has been doing this for a lot of years successfully. And he's like, why don't you guys maybe come up with something together, And interestingly, I was just going to Amsterdam for work for a couple of days, and we met there. And yeah, I mean, Nymf can also take over from here. I showed him some of the music I did, and of course I already knew his music, so it was just like he showed me some of his instrumental stuff, and then I'm like, why don't we try to come up with something together?
So I need to ask Nymf actually. Okay, what was the moment actually when you decided you will enter in music? How to say that deeply? That you will start working. Okay, you're a DJ, but you know, if someone who want to, how to say that, who want to be directly in production and very good in mixing, he need to understand the music very good. So what was the moment in your life when you decided that you will, beside dancing, also be in music world equally?
Well, my music journey started earlier, when I was about 12 years.
Okay.
I started playing piano, bass guitar, drums, and I also wanted to enter the University of Music. So I did the exam, and they said, "Okay, you are allowed to go." But then I had a girlfriend. I met a girlfriend, and we started living together. And so yeah, I had to work to get some money, you know. So I left the school and I started working. But yeah, music. I was always like musical. I could also feel music in a different way. But I left it like when I was 22, around this, yeah, somewhere around 2022. I left the whole music stuff because I was working and I had two kids. And I was spend my time in IT with computers and stuff. And I was like, really like, wow, you know, this is stuff. But then when I was teaching Zouk and I hear the music from all the DJs and producers, I was like, you know, at a certain point, it feels boring. For me, it felt boring, but still, I still like all this new style Zouk music, fusion stuff. But it was boring. I was like, okay, I can do something different, and I want to do something different. So I started DJing, but instead of playing tracks from one producer or you know, artist, another one, mixing, fusing together, I started making my own beats and music. Kind of, I prepared all the stuff on like home, but when I'm live, I can just choose, like I want to put another drum beat on my instruments. I want to change the bass, or I want to change the synth, or I want to change some vocal.
Yeah.
While the track is still running, so I can just change all the instruments separately. And from that moment, I was like, yes, now I feel like home, you know, all this stuff like dancing and music. It feels like, yeah, that's me. And
oh, Mirjana. Sorry.
Mirjana send us many regards. So also, ljubimo te, Miro. Budi nam dobro. Sorry, we interrupt you.
Yeah, so that was, I started with DJing, and then like 2 years later, I said, no, I want to make my own music and produce it and share it with the people, you know, and different music, not like the standard default in a box music. I want to do experimental music. Experimental music with electronical stuff and yeah, I don't know, like Siberian psytrance, psychill, some tribal, but fused with electronic music. And I have like one computer. I have all my VSTs and all the stuff, and everything is electronical. Everything is digital. I don't have electronic or acoustic music.
I need to ask you, because I am curious a little bit. But example, what is your favorite software for preparing the music? I know there is lots of different softwares for different stuff when you prepare something, but I need to ask you because I'm a little bit curious, because also I'm DJ, so I want to know.
for producing my music, yeah. I would say like I have used Pro Tools for a long time. For I would say, for if you want to do like high level, really professional stuff, Pro Tools is the way to go. And after Pro Tools, I was using kind of Cubase for home recording. But when I started DJing, I started with Ableton Live.
Cool.
Because there you can trigger all the like instruments or tracks separately. So I was using Ableton Live, and then I saw that some developers of Ableton Live, they went away and they started a project, Bitwig. Bitwig, and Bitwig runs on almost all platforms like Linux, Windows, and Mac.
Yeah,
and I was like, I was like, wow, if something runs on Linux, that's the thing that I want, because Ableton was not running, so I was forced to use or Mac or Windows.
Yeah,
and I was using Linux, so I was like, okay, so Bitwig. So then I changed to Bitwig, and since 2010, 2011. All right, I need to check.
A long time.
Yeah, since version 1, I bought it, and since that time, I'm still using it.
Believe or not, I use Acid Pro from Sonic Foundry. I think that's a version 4. Yeah, okay. That's a version 4.0. That's a version, I think it is old about something more than 10 years. And I believe or not, it's still working on Windows 10, for example. So actually that is my toy when I want to play with the music. So actually it's nice to hear that actually you also as a DJ and producer, you have a lot of music knowledge. So what was the moment actually now when you decide to cooperate with my colleague from Serbia?
The moment, when we met and somebody introduces us, like, hey, maybe you can talk about music and stuff, and I was like, yeah, because I was making music and I was just putting them online. People could download it, and but it was always kind of empty. It's instrumental music. But when Sandeep said, I said, yeah, okay, let's talk and let's see. And then we talked, and then she sent me some tracks. And I was like, yes, I think like I like your voice. I like the way she's expressing, and it's different than like the normal pop music, or I was like, yeah. So I sent her all my tracks, all the archive from 2016 till last year. I sent her. I said, just choose the music and then just make a lyric on it, and then let's see. And then she came with some tracks. I was like, okay, let's do it. And there was quite some work, because I had to dig, because most of my old tracks I made in Ableton Live, and now I use Bitwig.
Okay.
So it was all the VSTs and all the samples.
Yeah,
and everything
you had to redo everything, like I said.
Yeah, some tracks was really pain in the ass.
The fun part was it was all during Corona time, so it was really healing, to get immersed into music to that extent when everything is closed.
But it was also difficult, because like she recorded and then she sent to me, and then I prepare something and then I send back, and then maybe this need to change and that need to change. So there was a lot of back and forth. Like normally when you go to a studio, you have your music and produce everything. You sit there and you have the idea, and then you start to record and making, But some tracks was like 2 weeks, 3 weeks or something. We had to go back and forth and make it. But finally we finished it.
It was a process. Some were like really, really quick. I think the last one we recorded, this Inner Joy, it was just like, I think 1-2 times it was back and forth, and it was like, okay, this is fine. But this there were some tracks which we had some technical problems, then certain parts we were changing, so it was exhausting. But then again, when you finish the product, when you finish the album and the song, it feels really great, like a release.
But Sara, tell me, during all this pandemic situation, actually, you guys, you didn't waste any time, so you cooperate. How was it hard actually? Because if you maybe noticed, during this period we have a lots of shows on TV where some artists can promote their work actually, which they made during the Corona pandemic. But how was that, for example, you guys, you have corporation, but you're in different countries and you need to make something together. Was that hard for you guys or not?
You mean like in terms of the fact that we were working on distance, yeah?
Yeah. Because of technical moment.
Yeah, I think, well, technical moment, like I think Nymf can also explain better. He was producing the whole thing. But the thing is like, it was good because he sent me a lot of material, a lot of instrumental music. And then the weather was nice. It was getting nice. And then I would be like listening to it a lot. I would completely sink into it. And then I would come up with like a vocal harmony on it and lyric. And then, the moment that first raw idea is there, I would send him. And then he would send me like, okay, this will be like if it's mixed a little bit, just like again, a raw version. And then we would go into details. Okay, like here, maybe it's better to let it breathe a little more, or here maybe we should change something. So it was a process, but I think considering the fact that we haven't seen each other during this process, this was extremely fast because we also, to be honest, like we know each other, but not like that. We not that well. So I think this was quite successful and fast collaboration. Yeah, I would say it like that. I know it's of course, every process when you're making music is difficult, but I'm actually very happy with the speed and the progress, how we did it. I don't know if you agree, Nymf.
Yeah.
We'll see that. We'll see.
Yeah, there's always been some challenges, especially when you record something, and then like last one or one before she records, she sent me, and I was listening, and I was like, oh, there's like a really low noise.
Yeah.
It's in the track, and I cannot remove it. Otherwise, if I remove the low part, so you also cut from the voice, So I sent back. I said, I want another records with
sing again.
Buzz, Yeah, those kind of stuff happens.
Yeah,
and it takes time, back and forth. But if you are on just in the studio, you can just record. You can hear everything directly, and you can change. That would make it more faster.
But also, Nymf, I want to ask you: do you have during this pandemic? Do you have more work or not so much because of this whole situation? I know that music, lots of musicians, some of them use this time for to make some kind of progress or to do some creativity, but some of them they just stopped because all this situation stopped their energy and their their will to make some kind of music, whatever genre it is. But I know there is a lot of those kind of stories that musicians, some of them, for example, lose their will to continue with normal work because they know that for some times they will not be in position maybe to play music in live or something like that. What's the situation about it with you?
For me, this is like perfect because now I have more I have more time.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. For me, it's perfect because now I have more time to spend or invest in myself. I do a lot of other stuff besides the music. I also study like fan-based academy, how to create funnels and how to use the different social media platforms. So those kind of stuff I'm studying. So that's because if there was no Corona stuff going on, so you would be working, you would be going and DJing or weekend away, always busy with work. But now there's not so much. So now you have time, for yourself to develop. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to spend some time, like personal development also. So it's really perfect. And also I see my kids more often. So it's
me too. Yeah. I understand you completely about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So Sara, actually, you finished the album. Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you about this project. What how to say that? What when you start working on it? what was your idea? Do you during the time you have, okay, maybe in the beginning you have idea how everything will be after you finish the whole work, or you maybe really don't know for all songs how they will sound and everything? So actually, do you have how to say that, not improvisation, but maybe do you change the style of your music in this album or not?
During the process, you mean? Like,
yeah, during the process, when you start doing
a little bit. Some songs more than others. Some have been more like the moment the idea came and it was recorded, like that first instance, it was okay, we should keep it like this because this is the core. But some songs we changed quite a bit. Like I remember this bass Zuka, you did some really cool, Nymf, you really did some cool arrangement over there. But like it was, we did maybe 2-3 times, and like first time when we did it, it was completely different from how the final output was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the song which was like, okay, this is, and you also changed the music also completely. Like he sent one type of track, but there was a lot of there was quite a bit of maybe like I think a dubstep or something. So it was kind of overpowering the voice and everything. The whole, I mean, it was good like as if it was only instrumental. But when we combined it with voice, it was like this is not working. So he changed the arrangement and some parts, and I changed also singing, and then he did some cool twisting over there. So yeah, that's the song which changed. Some stayed pretty much the same, but there was improvisation in the process. We don't, like, you let it breathe. That's why it's important, I think, to let every song sit a little bit, not immediately, okay, finish, release. Like, I think it's important, that phase of like when you listen to it for some time, and then after like some time, if you're really happy with it, it means that it is ready to go.
Yeah, there was also not a clear idea like, hey, we want to have an album, a specific kind of album, you know. There was not that. You had like, okay, every track is like different, you know. And then after we did like 7 or 8, I don't know how many tracks there is, like, okay, now we can put it in an album.
Album was an idea. I think we had like, I remember this. We we started with the first 1-2 songs. It was we were like, okay, this is cool. But let's come up with, because it's good to have a goal, to have certain number of songs, and then you kind of finish that. You can call it album, or it could have been an EP. But we wanted to have an album. Then we did 7 songs. But then I discovered, in order to be considered an album, you need to be like at least 30 minutes long, and this was like 29. I'm like, okay, we need another song. So the goal was the album. But I think it's good that we were kind of choosing different, that the songs don't, even though it's the same type of music, it's all kind of this electro, progressive, whatever, that the songs are not the same, you know. That each song has some different flavor. I think that was important to maintain, both in terms of arrangement, music, and vocally, and also lyrics, because I think I mixed up 4 languages over there.
Well, cool. But how you actually how you define the genre of this album?
Well, it's funny because when we were
sorry, but I really want to ask you, because I'm not 100% sure. For me, it's great. Just okay, we need to say that for me it's great, but you know, I wasn't 100% sure how to define it. Okay, so that was, to be completely honest, so that is the reason why I'm asking you this.
I'll ask Nymf if he agrees. I was really also thinking about it. Would you call it like some progressive electro kind of a thing? Because you're doing progressive zouk, but zouk is not really like, I mean, it's a genre, but this is no longer, I think, only zouk. It has extended into something.
Yeah, it's different. It's for me, it's more like experimental music, electronic, also progressive. So it's a fusion of like what I do in dancing, what I like in live, but also the same in music, like fuse it with all the stuff that I like and put it together.
So, Nymf, tell me, because of dancing, you know, sometimes people usually connect dancers only with the music which they love to dance. For example, lots of people actually don't know. In my case, that actually my favorite music is hip hop, not salsa, not bachata. It's hip hop, you know. But you know, usually there is some kind of cliche that, for example, we only know for salsa, for bachata, I don't know, for kizomba, reggaeton, zouk, whatever. But actually, when I talk with my colleagues, especially here in Serbia, you know, when I ask them during the show what is their favorite genre, they told us, for example, rock and roll or something completely different. so I want to ask you, for example, you guys as Zouk dancers, for example, do you have some kind of influence in these songs from Zouk or not?
Yeah.
Because when I heard songs, for me it was tricky, but that was the reason why I want to ask you about this question about the influence.
Like in Zouk we use music till like 90 BPM. If you go higher, it's difficult to dance. So most like lambada Zouk music is around 90 BPM, and neo Zouk or other styles are lower. Some lyrical have like 50, 60 BPM. So all my music is in this range. Also the beat, you hear always like this doom, tak, tak, doom, tak, tak. That's kind of that you hear almost in all the tracks. So there is definitely some influence. I like Zouk, and I make the music also that people can dance to it.
Okay, so guys, can we play now some music? But
yes.
for you it will be pretty much familiar. So I choose a few songs for tonight from your album, but I will not play them all because Sara, you will, after the first song, you will say to people how they can find your music and everything. And actually what I choose, it is just a second. I need to see. I'm preparing. I know that I'm preparing. Okay. Shooting Stars, if I'm right.
Okay.
Okay. So for me, that is my favorite from this album. Okay, for me. Okay. So we'll make a little break. After that, we'll be with you guys again. Enjoy.
Circles, stumbling with our soul down.
So we're again with you guys. So Sara, I want to ask you how you feel right now.
It feels really good. And this is the first song actually with it that you like the most.
Really?
Stars was the first one, yeah. And the one with so many problems.
Yes.
So I need to ask producer about it. So Nymf, what was the problem about this song?
Yeah, this song had first I didn't have all the original tracks separately.
Yeah.
That was one of the problem, and also like the dub part was really loud. Was like, because it was made instrumental, not with this vocal in mind. So it was really a pain in the ass to keep it, to make it in such a way that the vocal will fit there.
Okay.
So still, because it sounded like it's fighting all the time, like
yeah.
And then my voice it's kind of like
so it was really but when she came with the title like Shooting Star, I thought like, yes, you know, like we are the shooting star, this is made for us, we have to make something good from it.
But for me, for example, you know, usually sometimes when I for example listen music, it doesn't matter which genre is. Sometimes when I talk with my friends, for example, we said that the song is good when it makes you some kind of emotion. Maybe you're happy during the listening, sometimes maybe you're sad during the listening to that song. But Sara, what's your thoughts about all the songs on your album? What kind of emotion, for example, you have during record them? Okay, I know to be in some moment you need to be professional, to everything sounds good and everything. I completely understand it, but I think that each song, maybe not, maybe I'm wrong, have some kind of story for you or some kind of emotion.
Yeah, of course. It always starts with emotion, which is very honest emotion. But I think like every artist, I mean, okay, sometimes you're very joyous and then you kind of start creating some music or something. But I usually dig something which is very personal and I would say maybe a little bit deep, that I like to kind of translate into music. It's usually, I mean, I don't know what is your opinion. I would also like to ask you about the album and the songs, but I think what I liked also about the songs that Nymf sent me is that they're not that direct, you know, in terms of emotion. They make you you know, go within yourself and then rediscover something. So you can take inspiration from like either a part of your life or something which is a little more transcendental. And I like to kind of play with these things when it comes to interpretation of music and lyrics. Yeah.
But Nymf, if I'm right, sometimes I think maybe the hardest thing is to combine those things when you have some kind of instrumental, and of course you have Sara as a singer. But sometimes when I think especially when you are in this kind of genre with electronic music, it's very hard to combine those two things and to make a good song of it. What's your opinion about it? Was it hard to in this point to work of this kind of music?
It was not like really hard, but it was a challenge because all the music that I had made, it happens in certain moments. Sometimes I was like in Russia and was in a certain state or a village, and I saw a name. I was like, oh, this name, you know. Or I don't know what the original name was of this track, but there's also a track I was just. My son was just pushing on the piano kind of stuff, and I was like, hey, maybe you can do this, and he was just pushing, and then suddenly I hear like a melody. I was like, oh wait, this one I'm gonna use. So I take the melody and I try to find like a chord progression on it, and sometimes it's also like, oh, no chord progression, just one key, one note, one tone, and the whole song is around this. And then I make the beats and the bass and stuff. But the challenge is always like when you make electronic music. So I put my emotions in the music, and then when someone comes and sing and put their emotions, so this is like you need to find a middle way, you know, and that's the challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. But Sara, the inspiration for recording all these songs, where you try to find inspiration?
You mean
maybe this is some kind of philosophy question, but actually, I think it's very important for people to know that.
Yeah. I find it, well, I need to just give you an intro. I've been writing poems since I was like in high school, and my teacher, I remember, she was like a Serbian literature teacher, and I was always writing some like lyrics and texts and essays and poems which were very convoluted. They were not straightforward, and she was scared that I'm on some serious drugs, and I was a very decent kid, you know. You know, like, but why are you? Because you know, she gives like a topic. Okay, write something which is how was your vacation? And at that time, I went to Ireland, and I actually went to see like Bono's house, like from YouTube, because I was like a huge fan. And completely, I mean, I wrote a story about that, but no one could understand what that story was really about because I used a lot of metaphors. So my mainly, like I would say, type of writing is to use a lot of metaphors in order to describe my inner feelings. So and yeah, specifically inspiration for certain songs was like, you know, you were hurt in your life, and then that left a big mark on you, and then you just interpret that emotion and how it affected you. So that happened in some songs. In some songs you were like actually grateful for all the good things that happen, but then again you're always in that kind of collision with the reality around. So it's usually like certain things that affect you, but you just interpret lyrically and in terms of like writing, and I would say a little more metaphorical way. Yeah, symbolical. I like Baudelaire. He's my favorite poet, and he's not that poet. So yeah, that symbolism is my style. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Nymf, for example, can you imagine, for example, you as a dancer to make some kind of choreography or some of these songs? Do you maybe thought about it?
No, I didn't really thought about it, but people told me like, hey, the songs that you are making, you have to use it during your classes and demos or whatever you're doing. But you know, the thing is, when I make the music, so first I get an inspiration, and most of my inspiration comes when I'm in shower or something. Or you know, this water, and then like, oh, you know, I want to do something like this. There I get most inspiration. Sometimes also outside or with my kid, or I'm someplace and then I get some ideas. But yeah, when you work on the track for a couple of days or week or a month or something, after that it's done, you are like, okay, I'm done with it. Okay, go away, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, so then that's why I don't want to use them in my classes. Then I'm like, okay, I hear this song again, you know. When you hear a track like for 24 hours and it's stuck in your mind, after a while you will be like, no, go away. So that's why I don't use my own tracks. I give them to other DJs, so they like to play, so they're playing. But like 10 years later, when you hear the tracks again, and then I'm like, oh, you know, did I make this track that time?
Yeah.
Sometimes I even forget that I made the track. I'm like, hey, from who is this track?
No, it's actually sounds like me.
And the DJs are like, hey, it's from you. I was like, seriously? Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Cool. So I will play now the next song, which I choose for tonight. It is Windows of the Sky, if I'm right. Okay, so we will play it, and after that we will back very soon. So, guys, we're back again, and I received a very cool message. It is from Marko from Belgrade. He wrote to me, of course, on Serbian, but I will translate you for you guys. He wrote that your music need to be in some kind of movie. For example, he said that this is good for some very cool movie soundtrack. And I think maybe he's right. I need to say that because this kind of music actually can be used if we talk a little bit commercial for any kind of, I don't know, movie or some show or something like that. So I want to ask you, Sara, can you imagine, for example, some kind of movie where you can put your songs?
Yeah, you know, my sister, younger sister, when she heard songs when they were still in the making, you know, and I asked her, but she's like also whatever, teenager, yes. So how do you like it? And she's like, wow, I really imagine it as like ending of some really cool series, you know, or a movie. So it's actually very interesting what you said right now, because it's not the first time. But yeah, I can, because it has that kind of ambiental groove to it. I could imagine it, whether it's because you know the visuals are Sandeep did like this visual also looks, which I think follows really well the music, and I feel like, wow, this looks like, you know, some sci-fi kind of movie scene, you know. So in terms of the musical feel, I think it could go. Yeah, I would be very proud, and I think Nymf would be as well.
Probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I want to also ask you guys about this album. For example, what are your ideas for further? Will you publish it on how to say, for some kind of record label or something like that? Do you have ideas for that?
Yeah, well, we started because it was like collaborative production, and we did it via distance. We actually tried this platform, this distributing platform, CD Baby, for starters, and they distribute it to all major streaming platforms for you. So that is like a publisher, but in terms of, I think we will, because we're already working on something next, yeah. So we'll also try maybe something else, and we will push for whatever we can in terms of like social marketing, social media marketing, and all sorts of possible channels to distribute it and to reach out to the audience and to the people who, and you know, like when you think about it, who kind of would like to listen to this music, that's another interesting question, because like a lot of friends, since they heard it and they ask, what do you think is who do you think will listen to this and stuff? So it's interesting to know, to see these first reactions, and also to see how people react to it. This is interesting, like when somebody tells you it reminds you of movie music, people say, I think this would be really cool for clubs. Now clubs are not open, or for like some dance festivals. So yeah, I think we're still in this exploring stage of who our perfect target group and the audience is, because it's actually very interesting to collect all the opinions.
But for example, what I think about it is that I think your music is made on that way that I think absolutely anyone can listen it, and on some their own way to find themselves in your kind of music, because this kind of music actually okay, maybe someone will say, okay, it's not for older or something like that, but I really think it is, because this comment from Marko before, for example, he said that it will be very that your songs are very cool for some kind of movie. I think that's actually the main thing about it, because for me, you know, when I listen the whole album, for me it was like, okay, I completely can make small different stories from each song, you know, and for me that's great, you know, when you have some kind of music that on that way inspire you It's a great. I need to say also to Nymf that the windows on the sky, the beat is great. The beat is top. You know, top.
There is more coming, so and will be even better.
No. For me, it's great. For me, it's actually great. So, Nymf, tell me about this kind of music. What do you think? Do you maybe have some kind of how to say that? Sara, pomozi mi. Sorry, on Serbian. Sara, pomozi mi uzore. Kako da kažem na engleskom?
Inspirations, maybe, huh?
Pa da, ali izvođači.
Check. Who influenced you the most?
Evo, žena mi dobacuje. Sorry, role models. Role models. Do you maybe have some kind of role models when you produce this, for example, or some artists which you like to play? Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I like music from specific artists. But they are more like people that are making like down tempo, psytrance, psyambient, psychill, psychedelic music. Yeah, there was a while when I was more doing the dubstep stuff. Then I liked what's his name again? Skrillex, and then Deadmau5. I like the music. I was like, wow, this music is, I want to also make. But then when you start making, then you feel like, yeah, this is not, I cannot really put my emotions in the music. But if I listen to psychedelic music, psytrance, psyambient, those music, I can feel like the experimental stuff, the sci-fi, the future kind of things that I can feel. Yeah, okay, this is what I can use. But I don't know if you know. I know the names, but it's not here.
No problem. But tell me, for example, do you have some thoughts maybe in the future to how to say that? Of course, I think if it is possible to perform it in live, for example, or some kind of festivals or something like that, Sara. Oh, Sara is out. Okay, she will return, I hope so, soon. Yeah. But Nymf, what do you think about it? For example, to perform on some kind of festivals or events in the future. Do you think? Do you thought about it?
Yeah, I thought about it, and all the music that I've made, it's in such a way that I can just keep all my tracks separately. I can just use my controller, and I was using the Surface Pro, Surface Book. With the touchscreen, so I can just, and then Sara can sing, of course, on it. Or I can, what I do normally is also making music live. And what I like is I can make some live music, and like a singer, like if Sara wants, if she likes, she can just sing, like jam on it.
Just,
improvise. Those kind of stuff. That's what I like. And I did also once or twice. I did also here in Amsterdam, in Den Haag, during a Zouk festival with a singer from UK, and she came, and I was just playing my instrumental music, like making it live, and she was just jamming on it, singing. It was awesome.
Sara, to be honest, I need to. I think you need guys to maybe try for the next Exit Festival to be there. Really, I'm serious about it. So
that would be awesome.
You should try. Yeah. You should try to do that. So I think, because I know a lot of performers for different genres who perform there for the first time, and DJs too. So I really think that you guys can enter without any problems there. Of course, that's my opinion. So Sara, could you tell us?
Thank you.
No, I'm completely honest about it. So Sara, could you tell us to our listeners too how they can find your album and how they can buy it? Well, can they buy it now?
Well, okay, there is something we're gonna well, for the purchase, I think the best thing is to use this Bandcamp thing. but we still haven't finished that part, which would be actually a good way, because that's the only, I think, platform which allows you for that option. We are available on stream, like on YouTube, obviously. There is it's Sonas channel, and I think Nymf Music Production YouTube channel.
Music,
And we have Spotify also, and on iTunes. Yeah, all these streaming platforms are available. So yeah, that's where you can find us.
So guys,
Sonas and Nymf, those are the keywords.
Nymf, but could you tell us, can people find some of your previous work on network?
Yeah, there's on SoundCloud, and hearthis.at is also one. They can find almost, I think, hearthis.at. You can find almost all my track that I have. Also some remixes. And on SoundCloud, I have like the latest, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 or something. That's on SoundCloud. But yeah, they can find all the music there.
Cool. So I need to ask you about all these situations, Sara. Could you tell me your thoughts about the music in next period? Because COVID actually stopped a lot of things. So what's your opinion about it for musicians from all over the world? I know, okay, maybe if you are in this kind of ambiental music, maybe it's easier, maybe it's not. I'm not 100% sure to make this kind of stuff. But what's your thought about the future? Will music scene will be the same, or you predict some changes in next period?
You interrupted at one point, but I caught the question. I think this is a very challenging time for artists, for musicians, because I think, the first big change was when people stopped buying CDs and they started downloading music. That's when musicians focused mainly on the concerts and live gigs to kind of sustain themselves. And now with this hit of no live music and no concerts, there is definitely coming even a bigger change is coming. So predictions. I do believe I'm a very positive person. I do believe that live concerts and gigs will happen again soon, because first of all, it's like a necessary thing to have in society. It's very essential for your soul to go out for gigs, to go to football games, to go to concerts in order to stay normal. So I do believe that will change soon, and I'm optimistic that next year things will get back in order. Like that. That's how I like to see it. But in terms of work, I don't know. I think it's just important. I have few friends also who are music producers. They've been working a lot on new stuff, making videos, making music, it's good in terms of I think a lot of people are accumulating very good material, very good music, and then when everything opens up, there will be explosion of
absolutely
great
absolutely. Absolutely. But I want to ask you also, Nymf, what do you think about the DJs? What's their future? Because when I speak with some previous guests, they have a different thoughts about it. Some of them said that DJs are right now in a very, very big problem because of playing the music, and they maybe don't have any crowd. It's of course, it's a little bit strange. Also as a dancer and also as a DJ to play the music only in front of your screen, and then maybe to publish it on different social networks. But what's your thoughts in the future about them? So what do you think about whole this situation of COVID and DJs and all problems what DJs actually have?
Of course, COVID is a problem, especially for artists. But in the future, it will change definitely. But playing live and DJs, there is something in music, hearing music live, at an event than hearing music like online, you know. It's a different emotions. So that will always be there. If you go to a party and you hear music and you can dance, or you can do, you know, on a big sound system, it's different feeling. It gives you different emotions. Your experience is really different than when you hear the same music at home in your home.
Of course,
you know. So DJs, producers, artists, they will keep their live performance, but now it's difficult. But we will overcome it. And the DJs or artists that are not so well performing or not so known, they should use the social media to promote themselves, so people can listen to their tracks and know them. So this is a time for almost everyone. The more you show yourself,
to learn more, to show something.
Yeah, you know, so people can know you more. And even artists that are already known, you know, they have gigs, they have all the stuff, but people that are not so known, they can use now the platform to let people know themselves. So this is now time for almost everyone to come out, also for me.
Yeah, but lots of DJs have a problem right now about the copyright law, especially when they want to play the music, for example, on platforms like Facebook or Instagram or something like that. Yeah, I always recommend Mixcloud for that's I think the best solution for any kind of musician who wants to play any kind of music. For me, the Mixcloud is the best. But what's your thoughts about it, Nymf, also? Because I know that there is lots of people who are actually are in problem because, for example, they said to me, okay, Mixcloud, it's cool, but it's only for musicians. We don't have so much opportunity there. I really think they have, but it's very, how to say that, it's very hard maybe to learn to learn not only DJs. I think it's very important to learn musicians to promote their work correctly. I think for them maybe that's the main thing right now. If of course if I dare as much as possible, good.
Yeah, like there are two things. For me personally, I don't mind if people are playing my music or whatever. But if you like a lot of DJ, they are playing tracks they just rip from YouTube or whatever they're playing. But if they want to do like more fair, so they can stream from Spotify or from other platform, they can stream. So the artist will get also money, so they will not get in problem with all this stuff, you know. But if they're gonna rip and they're gonna play illegally, so they can get in problem. They can get in trouble. That's for sure. And there are also, I don't know what agreements there are, but here in Holland, you can get a license for DJing, and you're going to pay X amount of money. You're going to pay for it, and then you can play tracks from other artists, but you need to, you have to register it, you know? And then you pay a fine, not fine, but you pay a commission. The artist will get it. So those kind of solutions there are, but if DJ is not willing to do it and kind of ripping tracks and playing, they can get in problem. But that's not something that I made up, but it's the law.
Rules are rules. Okay. But Sara, for example, if you maybe this is situation, for example, you search something on network and you find, for example, your song, guys, but in a remix. What will be your thoughts?
Well, first of all, it's like, wow, this is like, you know, you feel it will be mixed. It will be mixed. First of all, oh my God, my song is being remixed. That's so cool, you know. But then you get like into, okay, this is not cool if you don't get, like, you know, it's okay that people remix. I think it's good because it promotes it. It gives it a bigger outreach. But yeah, I mean, I don't think there'll be like a big deal. You mean like if they didn't contact you and if you didn't like get, because we registered on to protect our music with also our registration office Sokoj here. So they can't, you know, like you are protected in the sense that whoever uses your music is, I don't know exactly now what is the deal there, but you should be informed at least, you know. But I know that it is impossible to now control all these things. So, I mean, it's all right. The more people listen to it, the better. So I really don't mind.
But really, I think when some song, for example, it's remix. If you have, for example, a remix of some songs, I think that song is good. So why people actually choose it? Okay, so
can I add something to it?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's for me. It's not a problem. Like people are remixing tracks as long as they give credit to the original artist. You know, that would be perfect, fine. But sometimes they remix a track and they put the name on it. And they change also the name of the track. That's kind of stealing.
That is stealing. But it wasn't in that way the question. I just want to ask you, for example, if you heard some of your songs, for example, in drum and bass version or in hip hop version, you know. Of course, with your name and everything on titles. So my idea was, what will be your feeling that moment?
I would be happy. I would be like, yes, you know?
Yeah. Cool. So, Sara, I want at the end of this great conversation, I want to ask you: do you have some message for people who are listening us right now? I think you will get new fans from this night for sure. You have one new. Okay, so I will always promote your stuff, and of course, guys, if you guys want, I will play them on the radio. So what is your message for us tonight?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you the last two sentences you said.
No problem.
Yeah.
I want to ask you I just want to ask you, do you have some kind of message to our listeners and viewers right now?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you so much for having us here on the show. It was really enjoyable to talk about it, to talk about the music, the process, and this entire collaboration, which was an amazing experience. And you are actually the first one who invited us to talk about this publicly. So that's really awesome. Big love to you always, and thank you for your support all the time. And especially it was really nice during this stupid Corona that we have been meeting each other online and having some cool talk shows. It kind of made this whole pandemic easier when you have when we still we still kept in touch and talked about good stuff. So
absolutely. To be honest, thank you very much. It was my pleasure to have you tonight as my guest. But also, I need to tell you, my feeling is that maybe I connect with some of my colleagues better than before Corona. So
that's interesting.
For some of them, I'm right now. I'm in how to say that we became friends and those kind of stuff. So for me, it's a great thing in this crazy situation, so and thank you.
As a message, thanks. As a message to all the listeners, I think it's important to focus on good stuff, search for more music online, which is good, and then share whatever interesting things you have, because I think there's a lot of it online. There's a lot of good music on internet. Sometimes we are overshadowed with a lot of commercial stuff, which is overly dominant. But I think it's the same way how we found each other and how we found this collaboration. I would like more other musicians who are talented to create more and to have some new wave of good music coming in. I mean, that's my wish, because when you make music, you also enjoy listening to new music, which is good. So that's a message to fellow musicians and to everyone else, is to just keep dancing, keep listening to music, and enjoy the new spring and summer, which is ahead of us. Hope for some good dance festival also to kick in, so we all meet together.
For sure. Thank you very much. Nymf, do you have any questions for our listeners and viewers tonight?
If I have any questions,
Message. Sorry, do you have
Message.
some message for them? Message. Sorry.
Yeah, well, what I always say in dancing, like it's not the step that makes you dance, but it's the expression, you know. But the same is in music. It's not only like the music that you are listening to, you listen also to the energy, the emotion, but it's also important to know the artist behind the music, you know, to know the people behind the music, what they did and who they are. It's also important to know them. And this is a nice way so people can know us, like who we are, you know, a little bit. That's the message.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So guys, one more time, it was my pleasure to have you tonight as my guest, and I really enjoying this kind of conversation, and I really want to wish you all the best with your album, and I really hope that as you said in one of your songs, shooting stars, that you will shoot stars and become more and more popular. So thank you very much for your time to be here. It is my pleasure, and I really hope that in the next, I don't know, few months, why not, your album be more and more popular each day.
It already started with you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, guys, these were Sara and Nymf. They really show us tonight actually how music can be creative, and how two people who actually live in two different countries can collaborate and make something very, very cool and great. So thank you for being with us tonight. I really hope that all of you enjoyed in this conversation and music, and we are going out with Cubismo, and have a good night, and thank you one more time to be with us tonight. Bye to you all.
Good night.